Hello, hello. Hey, it says I'm live. Okay, let's try this again because I did one a minute ago. It was my very first one and I had no sound. So if anyone pops on here, please leave me a comment or in the chat that you can hear me. So it's probably good that I didn't have any sound. I felt like I rambled a little bit. But today's topic is how I use law of attraction. So first things first, let's talk about what it is. What is law of attraction? So the basic principle is that like energies attract like energies. So whatever you're focused on with emotion is what life is going to reflect back to you. So we have this wonderful situation where we can choose to focus on good things. And we need to consciously do that. And we have so many things coming at us from every direction, especially if you're a news watcher, on things that are negative to focus on, or focusing on what we don't want versus what we do want. So I want to encourage you to just become aware of that, because awareness is the huge first step. You got to know that you're focusing on what you don't want in order to change it. I went through my most of my life focusing on what I don't want, and I brought a lot of what I don't want to me. There is a magic thing, though, is I can't tell you one single thing that was horrifically awful in my life that didn't ultimately work for my good. Um, I know that sounds crazy to some people, but that's actually one of my affirmations is that everything's always working out for me. So even when, I look back on my life and connect the dots, once upon a time I went through a terrible divorce from an abusive person, and I had to let my home go into foreclosure. And I can't even tell you how much that worked for my highest good. So that is a long story in itself, probably more than you want to hear today. But I just wanted to talk about the basics of law of attraction. What got me started was I found Bob Proctor, and Bob Proctor led me to The Secret, and The Secret led me to Rhonda Byrne, and so on and so forth. And then I found not Neville Goddard, because I'd always been really um, interested in why some people achieve things and other people don't. And I'm really different than everybody else in my family. I mean that respectfully. But, I've kind of gone farther with my education. I have a little bit more stable life than most people. If you look at my mom and dad, I live a much different life than my mom and dad lived. And I'm an only child, so I don't have siblings to compare myself to. But, why am I so different? Why have I always known I was different? and I always just chose to focus on positive things, except for certain times in my life. I can see in my teenage years, I started focusing on negative things, and that's when everything started to spiral. And it took me a long time to overcome that. But like energy attracts like energy. So focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. And Jesus even said, when you ask, believe you have received. So focus on what you want, and it will be given to you. He was talking about law of attraction right there. Um, and I know when I first started studying law of attraction, and I've been a practicing Christian, I was like, is this okay? Is this okay? Um, but the more I studied about it, the more I realized Jesus was teaching this. Jesus was telling us of the power that we have within inside of us. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Um, and so you're directly connected to God. Um, you're a higher consciousness, and a soul living in this wonderful body. I don't like to call it meat suit, because your body is so wonderful and precious and magical in its own way. But I don't like to call it meat suit. I call it my wonderful vessel, is what I call it, my temple. Um, but I wanted to just basically practice going live, and thankfully I don't have anybody on here. I would like to have someone on here to see if you can hear me. But that's okay. I'll just repost this. I want to just touch on a few things. Number one, if you know, are a person who thinks affirmations aren't cheesy, that's good. Because my favorite affirmation is everything's always working out for me. I want to encourage you to always say that and to be open and receptive to all the good that the world has to offer you. If saying the universe is too weird, just say the world, just say God. I'm open and receptive to all the good that God has to offer me. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Um, you can choose to think good thoughts and focus on what you want and not on what you don't want. That will make a huge difference in your life. So, those are baby steps, but they're very important baby steps in using the law of attraction. If you are trying to manifest a certain thing in your life, I would love for you to leave a comment and maybe I can comment back on what you could focus on to make that happen. I would love to do that. Um, I want you to realize that, that life can be good if you choose for it to be good. And we need to be on we need to be in an attitude of gratitude. And when you are feeling gratitude and joy and happiness, everything that you want in life is on that frequency because everything's energy. And the only reason you want something is because you think you'll be happier in the having of that thing. And so, if like attracts like and you can find things to be happy and joyful and grateful about, eventually what you want will come your way because you'll be in the energy of that wonderful thing. And I hope that makes sense. If it does, let me know. And I'm not going to make this a really long video today because it is just a practice run for me going live. But if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. Um, I would love to help you. I would love for you to give me any comments on, how you are trying to change the way you think or choose better thoughts or anything that you specifically might need help with. I would love to hear and try to help you. Um, thank you for watching this far, and I just really appreciate you. And I hope that you have a great day.